creative. They make it very difficult for the opposition. And the rest of the world are going to be watching the way they run their offense towards the Olympic Games. Well, it had just about everything for a two-setter. One-sided in the end. Switzerland, well, they're also growing, but it will not be a second gold medal of their career on the World Tour. They will settle for silver, but they are much improved after a tough season so far. They're growing and building in the right direction towards the Olympic Games in Tokyo, but so are the USA. Kelly Claes and Sarah Sponsel, the gold medalists for the second week running on the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour. Next up, it's the turn of the men. The Netherlands, Alex Brouwer and Robert Meeuwsen are back in the gold medal hunt. And they're up against the home nation and Andre Perusic and David Schweiner. That's a game you're also not going to want to miss. Well, that's how it finished. Gold for the USA. Well, for myself, Louis Lett, and the rest of the team, it's goodbye for now. We'll be back very, very shortly.
Shake připravit Schweiner. České jedničky, zároveň nasazené jedničky celého turnaje, před 2 měsíci vyhrané světovou špekalu, před 2 lety získali stříbrné medaile v Ostravě, za 2 měsíce měli být na Fokru. Můžete se podívat, jak se na olympijské hry připravují.
The season started really well. We won a lot. We got third place in the first event in Cancun. So very, very happy about how they are going. We will keep pushing hard till the Olympics, of course, because I mean we really need to fix some details.
Olympiáda je pro nás oblast vedený sen, s tím jsme do toho od začátku šli jako přesné a později jako cílem, už to začalo být trošku matatelnější. A ty očekávání se budou hodně odvíjet toho, jakou jsem nalosujeme skupinu, protože se může stát, že budeme rádi, když té skupiny vylezeme a zároveň si můžeme nalasovat, řekněme, trošku jednodušší, ze který ta výchozí pozice by měla být lepší.
Je to naše první přestava olympiády, takže předchozích zkušeností nemáme a i kdybychom měli, tak letos ta olympiáda bude asi hodně poznamená do pandemii, takže očekáváme asi vesměs podobný, nejspíš o dost přísnější formát, než jsou ty standardní turnaje světové série. Tím, že už před touhle sezónou jsme věděli, že si se držíme olympijskou pozici, která nám zaručuje účast na olympiádě, ale budeme mít pravděpodobně něco bojovat až do konce kvalifikace, která končí právě tady v Ostravě. Tak u nás ta příprava už směřovala na ty první turnaje někdy do období března, protože jsme věděli, že pokud se chceme kvalifikovat, tak musíme hrát velmi v začátku sezóny. Museli jsme se přizpůsobit spíš nějakých tréninkových tempů. Museli jsme se rozhodnout, že chceme strávit tu hlavní část té přípravy kvůli teplotním podmínkám, které jsou v Tokiu poměrně specifické.
Tu zimní přípravu tak jsme trávili v zimě, tam sice v zimě samozřejmě ty klimatické podmínky Tokiu podobné nejsou, ale plánujeme do Itálie teď před Tokiem a ty aspoň minimálně teplotní rozdíly by měly být minimální. Tokiu by mělo být trošičku víc dusno, ta vlhkost by měla být hodně vysoká, ale s momentálními podmínkami ohledně pandemie, tak je to asi to nejlepší, co vlastně nám to příprava může nabídnout.
To největší překážka byly naše vlastní výkony, protože na začátku té olympijské kvalifikace jsme rozhodně nepatřili k nějakým favoritům směrem k olympiádě, což samozřejmě nepatříme ani teď, ale tou jsme se museli bát o tu samotnou kvalifikaci.
Tak my jsme za to rádi, že to vrcholí a určitě to kouzlo není jedna věc, ale je to, my jsme rádi, že je to výsledek nějaký naší 5letý práce s celým naším týmem, včera s naším trenérem Andreou, komičákem Valériem, že se to všechno tak jako sedlo do sebe a my jsme skutečně byli schopní na hřišti předvíst konstantní výkon po celý turnaj, ať už teda Brouwer nebo na prvním turnaji v Mexiku. A to kouzlo, jako ten výčet je teď tak atletický a komplexní, posouvá se to na úplný limit, takže rozhodují fakt detaily.
Now they have a very good game system, they know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, if it's a really easy or not. And they practice really hard.
Ano, Dolní Vítkovic je vlastně taková, je to provoz vysokých pecí, které tady se provozovaly do roku 1998, mělo se tady špičkové sledánské železo, krmilo se tady syrovým železem ocelárny, kde se vyráběly ještě lepší vlastně vítkovické plachy, které se dály do lodě, děla, prostě všechno možné, jako vlastně mosty a celá infrastruktura. A tohle vlastně je závod, který tady fungoval 170 let. Vysokopecního závodu, který byl čistě technologický, se muselo vlastně začít fungovat prostor, kterého chceme dělat živé město. Tenhle projekt jsme tady dělali v roku 2003, kdy jsme přišli s tím, že bychom
You know, so it's not easy to deal with it. Sometimes you feel a little bit scared if you're not very focused, but it's nice, it's nice.
Skvěle, to zbožňujem, to byl první ročník, já jsem se třeba na první ročník, to byl poprvé, co jsem to tady viděl. To jsem úplně vychvácený, a od té doby jsem hrozně rád vracím. A příště doufám, že bych si tady z toho mohl stát do Vóley-playa tablice, a jsem to vlastně prožil.
Ostrava is sort of one of the tournament that's getting famous, and everyone wants to be here and play in this amazing location with all the fans. They're also doing amazing, so
This view is so beautiful. We love it to be here, and we're making many pictures here. We send it to Brazil. Everybody looks, oh my God, it's so beautiful. You are playing on a factory.
mezi ty, co nesedí v koutě a rádi pomohou, máme pro vás ideální mobilní aplikaci od nadace Czech. Jmenuje se App Pomáhej pohybem. Začnete tím, že si appku zdarma stáhnete do mobilu. Zapněte ji a vyberte si druh pohybu. Důležité je také zvolit, jestli budete sportovat uvnitř, kde se aktivita měří pomocí gyroskopu, nebo venku, kde váš pohyb sleduje GPS. Appka rozeznává nejen směr a rychlost pohybu. Pozná dokonce, že skáčete na místě, takže pomáhat můžete i tančením na koncertě. Mobil i se zapnutou aplikací schovejte do kapsy, do pouzdra nebo do dlaně a můžete jít na to. Aplikace měří vzdálenost, čas, tempo a vydanou energii. Váš pohyb se zaznamenává na mapě. Pro dnešek stačí. Stopněte měření aktivity, zkontrolujte nazbírané body a připravte se na nejtěžší část. Výběr projektu, kterému své body věnujete. Nadace Czech je převede na peníze, kterými projekt podpoří. Své výkony můžete také sdílet. Pochluďte se kamarádům a vezměte je do party Ektafu. Všechny své výsledky máte vždy přehledně před sebou. U těch šedivých jste ještě nepřiřadili body, tak hurá na to! Vyndejte mobil z kapsy, zapněte appku a pomáhejte pohybem. Děkujeme. Nadace Czech.
Nový den. A nebo ten týž v jiném světle jen? Život nás vedl různými cestami, se společným cílem před námi. Proto lepší jsme, když jsme spolu, i když to často jde nahoru dolů. Uvolněná energie, čistá synergie. Hlavní roli pro nás hraje vůle. Nakonec však vyhrajeme a stálíme se spolu. Spojujeme silné společnosti Unika a Axel, protože život je lepší, když jsme spolu. Unika existují už stovky let. Zázračné učení zdejších kamenů ale fungují i dnes. Nejen vrcholoví sportovci tu každý rok čerpají nové síly a nacházejí inspiraci z nových zážitků. Lázně nejsou jen procházky po kolonátu. Ty české nabízejí mnohem víc. Pro tělo i pro duši. A kdo ví, třeba tu potkáte i příštího olympionika.
Tady to mám ráda. Tady cítím, že skutečně žiju.
Well, hello there and welcome to the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour, where this week we're in Ostrava in the Czech Republic. What a unique and charming venue here in Ostrava. It's time for the men's gold medal match between the Netherlands and the Czech Republic, playing on home sand. Well, the draw for Brouwer Meeuwsen has been a tough one where they've beaten Andre and Georges earlier on today. Perusic, Schweiner, the home team, beat the world champions Krasilnikov and Stoyanovski. The weather, well, the cloud has started to come over here in Ostrava. The temperature is perfect. There's not much wind. It's perfect conditions here for beach volleyball. Well, hello, and a warm welcome to you from wherever you're watching from. Louis Let with you here. It's a pleasure to bring you the gold medal matches here from Ostrava. And for Andre Perusic on the left-hand side of the screen and David Schweiner, they are growing nicely towards the Olympic Games. They won their first ever World Tour 4-star event in Doha back in March, but now they're going for number 2. This is their third Final Four in Ostrava. And Ostrava's third time of hosting the event. It's a happy hunting ground, but today they have the world champions from 2013 and the Olympic bronze medalists from Rio 2016. That was Alex Brouwer and Robert Meeuwsen in your picture, previously wearing the red jerseys. Well, there's all to play for here. This is the second to last event before the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and it's all about building to the big occasion. For Brouwer Meeuwsen, well, they've had 3 17th finishes and 3 9th place finishes in their last 6 events, so this is definitely a step up in their quest to a second Olympic medal. For Perusic and Schweiner, well, they've said themselves that the pandemic have done them some favours to work on their game with Andrea Tomatis. And they love playing at home. It's only the second event that's had a crowd on the World Tour. Davide Crescentini will be the first referee for this one. Rui Jorge Carvalho will be on the stand, watching the net, and anyone who goes into it. Well, we've met the referees. It's time to meet the players. They're back in the Final Four for the first time since Chetumal in November 2019. They're a force to be reckoned with, and they're a force finding form once more. That win in 2013, the World Championships in Poland, put them on the world stage at the highest level. And Alex Brouwer is a left-sided defender, 31 years old, living in The Hague, where the program is based. 6'6", 198 centimeters, one of the biggest defenders in the world. 114 tournaments now on the World Tour, 99 of which have been played with Robert Meeuwsen, the blocker. 6'9", 105 tournaments. This team have had 6 career wins, looking for number 7 today. Well, they said earlier on in their interview, they know they're going to have the crowd against them. They lost in the final at this stage last year to the Beach Volley Vikings, but they're getting better and better. Andre Perusic, 6'3" from Prague. The defender of the pair, creative, smart, and very nimble around the court, partnered and complemented by David Schweiner, 6'7" blocker, also from Prague. Well, today they're going to have to be on top form as David Schweiner makes his way into the arena. Brouwer Meeuwsen really are a force to be reckoned with. They had a tough run to the quarterfinals, which included a game where they had to play their fellow countrymen Christian Varenhorst and Steven van der Velde. If van der Velde and Varenhorst would have won that game, there's a high chance they would have made the Olympics. But as their coach, Victor Antelov, said, it was about Brouwer Meeuwsen finding form as much as it was getting a second team to the Olympic Games. Alex Brouwer serving to get us underway. Serving from the sideline to the inside hand of David Schweiner, and it's the first bit of joy for the Czech pairing. And they would have learnt their lessons from last year. They had a great start against the Vikings. They won the opening set, and it was during the time where the Vikings were Well, they're off the back of 2 straight wins, but that's not rare for the Vikings in this sport. We've got very used to the Vikings being in the finals of these tournaments, but not their couple of weeks, the 9th and 17th for them, but Perusic starts with a serve, the wrong side of the sideline. Robert Meeuwsen, who said to me yesterday that it was weird playing against their countrymen, knowing what was on the line, but they had to do what they had to do. David Schweiner. Well, big swings happening early, showing a lot of cross-court, bringing it back to the line. We've been speaking over the past couple of seasons about how open the women's side of things are when it comes to the Olympic Games and the World Tour, but now the men's is super open as well. Oh, there's a big brick wall in David Schweiner. God, he loved every inch of that one, didn't he? Brouwer hammering through the body, testing the hands of Schweiner. Good night. Schweiner serving. Brouwer, the target once more, was in good form against Brazil earlier on. This time he does change the angle, just turns his shoulders slightly late. Changes direction off the ball and off the block. Tough game for Brouwer Meeuwsen against Andre and Georges. Every set decided by the narrowest of margins. It was very entertaining from the neutral, maybe slightly more stressful if you're a fan. Very good from Brouwer Meeuwsen. Very good from David Schweiner. Meeuwsen went very late into the sharp angle on the cut shot, showed him the space to Perusic and then took it away from him, but at the same time, Schweiner was ready to pounce. High tempo start to this one. Last time Brouwer Meeuwsen were in a final, they lost to Jake Gibb and Taylor Crabb, who qualified for the Olympic Games this week for the USA. Added Nick Lucena and Phil Dalhouser, 2008 Olympic gold medalist. 3-4 the start to this one. Advantage to the home team, who are going to have the crowd, well, you think, pushing them fairly close to the finish line today. Meeuwsen serving. Change of service tactic early on Perusic. This time goes high and can't quite see the ball line or the ball mark in the sand, but you can hear from the crowd that that one was certainly in. Using R's on the hands of Meeuwsen, but Brouwer puts another side out away. Passes off the net, so it's difficult to side out from it. Loses the power, but gets creative off the hands. Well, they've won every game this week, including games against Plavins and Toks from Latvia. They sealed their place to the Olympics a long time ago in Hyun. Sharp plays from Schweiner. Wins against Saxton O'Gorman. Bermans de Gluds. Another Netherlands side. And the strength in depth to this Netherlands program is very strong. Let's put it that way. They go to the Continental Cup now to try and qualify. Second team is Varenhorst and Van der Velde. Didn't get through, but it's all about David Schweiner. So far, I count 3 or 4 blocks from Schweiner. They're serving Brouwer short to try and take away some of his physicality. The wrist away swing taken. Glamorous fashion. Slightly easier for blockers to get their line when their partner's serving. There's another dig against Brouwer. Chance for Perusic to open up a 4-point lead. No. Brouwer scooting around everywhere back there. Schweiner again. He has Brouwer's number thus far in this final. Coming in fairly straight to the line. Everything over the net, off the hands and off the head as well. So far, David Schweiner's game. Netherlands would have wanted to have silenced this crowd early on. Brouwer from the inside, changing the angle of the pass and chipping back to the line. Smart play from Brouwer. Had to change something, so he brought the play through the middle, had a look for the defender, and then chipped it the other way. There's times in this game to look for the blocker, and there's times to look for the defender as well. Just the most fascinating story out of this week was that Varenhorst van der Velde game against Brouwer Meeuwsen. Brouwer Meeuwsen do score once more. Change of ends at 8-6. Showing the angle, trying to knuckle over the top of Brouwer, knowing that Brouwer would be sat on the angle, Meeuwsen to block it. Good break for the Netherlands. After a fast start from the Czech pairing. This week has been a great week for the Grimolds from Chile. Sealed Olympic qualification. It wasn't in their hands, let's put it that way. They did their work early on in the Olympic qualification campaign. Struggled for form over the past couple of weeks. Hang on, there might be a net touch here. The crowd go wild. Brouwer. Gets the point for the Netherlands, Robert Meeuwsen. Serving and chasing in. They're out of system once more. It was a fantastic start for them, Czech Republic, but growing through this game are the Netherlands, and now the crowd are starting to be silenced. Meeuwsen charging in, and again, using his height. It's one bailout that he really does have, is Meeuwsen at 6'9". If in doubt, he can go off the top of the block. Ace. And for the first time in a long time, it is the Netherlands that take the lead here. It's all about Schweiner. But now Brouwer Meeuwsen coming back into their own. Timeout from the Czech pairing. They've used their timeout very early, considering there's a technical timeout on the horizon as well. It does give us a chance to have a little look at how the Olympic race has finished up. Heartbreak this week. We have a look at some stats on the screen as well. Schweiner 60% so far. 3 from 5. Brouwer finding his rhythm after getting blocked out a couple of times, but Brouwer Meeuwsen currently 11th in the Olympic ranking. They should improve this week. Perusic, Schweiner just behind them in 13th place, but heartbreak for Born Crab from the USA. They needed to win here this week, but they got knocked out earlier on to the bronze medalists Andre and Georges Wanderley. Joy for Kantor and Wojciak from Poland. They won in Sochi last week, and really that win in Sochi propelled them into the Olympic qualification. They've had their fair share of injuries on the World Tour, and they missed a lot of events in 2019, including the World Championships, where they dropped points. There's the run of points for the Netherlands. It's a great run for them. Robert Meeuwsen, who missed a few serves in the semi-final. He misses another one there, but he won't mind too much because he's had a great run. Long angle serve. Good pass from Brouwer. Seems open. Attacks different areas of the court. Brouwer. From the inside, he chipped back to the line. From the outside, he's going through the heart of the court. Good platform. Stays into the sand. Brouwer unleashes one back on the angle. They haven't won on the World Tour since 2018 Huntington Beach. So they've been waiting a long time for this opportunity, or since November 2019. They have certainly returned to top form. The bronze medalists from Rio beating Russia in that bronze medal match. Russia taking a fourth today. Knuckle over the top of the block. They've taken the block out of the game as of late. Brouwer Meeuwsen moving him around a little bit more. Schweiner He's struggling to impact the game as much as he was. When the ball is up and down, they're going over the top. It looks like a net touch against Alex Brouwer. They'll take it, that's for sure. Oh, interesting start to this final. Perusic and Schweiner, all the adrenaline. Playing in front of a home crowd once again, off to a flying start, and then there was a good run from Meeuwsen, but now Czech team just have the lead. The Olympics not too far away. Both of these teams will be playing in Tokyo. And these sorts of results will give them so much confidence, and Schweiner will pick up more confidence from that one. Once again, Brouwer Meeuwsen trying to move the ball a little bit more in offense, trying to move Schweiner. He dives into the line fairly late. The defenders also sat on the line. They know that Brouwer's looking to take the defender out. They put the hands in front. Brouwer this time. Oh, it looks as if an error. Sound like a massive thud. Czech lead by 3. Timeout from Brouwer Meeuwsen. Part of the program based in The Hague, where the Continental Cup finals will be held. And the Dutch men and Dutch women's team will be looking to gain a second place for their nation. Brouwer's being blocked. Brouwer then made an error trying to feast on the next one. Isn't it just delightful to have fans back at World Tour events? They've been thoroughly missed in this stunning and unique setting. From a coal mine that was used until 1998 in Ostrava. Brouwer, well, gets us back underway. Again, it's late moves really in the block from Schweiner diving into the angle. They do love attacking the seam. Brouwer Meeuwsen. It's a good serve from Meeuwsen, serving deep off the net, back set. Good recovery setting from Schweiner. Keeps the ball in the front meter and it allows options in rhythm for Perusic. He's keeping an eye on the blocker. And again, if you can keep the ball in the final front meter of court, you really have an opportunity to score with vision, but everything going the way of the Czech pairing. Brouwer, magnificent back there as well. Schweiner, chip over the top of Robbie Meeuwsen. My word, what a rally. Players giving absolutely everything out there. Short serve. Brouwer is getting the absolute run around out there. Czech team are playing inspiringly well on the floor 3 times almost in that rally. Miss serve. Definitely a tactic that can be used from Perusic and Schweiner. Serving Brouwer, moving him in short. He's also trying to move the block around in return though. And in offense, they're trying to go around Meeuwsen. Let's see what happens here. Perusic to the inside. Let's see who they challenge. This time past the block and short of Brouwer. Faultless again from Perusic and Schweiner. a fourth 2 years ago, a second to the Vikings last year. So far, so good to go one better than 2019. In system here, Brouwer from the left side tries to go sharper and harder. He misses out this time. Serving on an angle makes it easier to create angles off the arms. Opens up the cross court for him. And challenging thing as a left sider is to pass quite straight. You get quite tangled and congested. There's Brouwer again with the error, this time showing the cross, trying to pat the line. Perusic sitting very wide on the angle and allowing the high line to take place. Perhaps his chances on chasing that one, but anything hitting outside of the power line is tough. No way. That's probably a good example of how this first set's going. All the way of the Czech Republic. They're 2 away now from the opener. They have the crowd behind them. They have the wind in their sails. The Netherlands, well, they have to dig deep. Too many hitting errors. They have to find their way again. Schweiner. What a game he's having. He's absolutely firing on all cylinders here. Wider play to move the blocker to try and go off the hands of Schweiner, but his feet are too fast, his hands are too good. Have to maybe move him a little bit quicker next time to try and open up the tool. This time moving the block once again. Brouwer Meeuwsen really trying to change zones in their offense to keep Schweiner moving. It did work for a short period of time, but now it's their second set point hit. And there you have it, miss-serve from Robert Meeuwsen gives the opening set of this men's final to the home favourites, the #1 seeds, David Schweiner, Ondrej Perusic. What a performance so far. They were faultless in the semi. Same again here, 21-13. They play a smart game offensively and defensively as well. This is how it finished. Well, the statistics from the opener. More attacks from the Netherlands, you would never think that, but also more errors. And runs of errors as well. Very costly. 6 blocks from David Schweiner. That's Sanders Mole territory. Faultless start to proceedings in this men's gold medal match. And the amount of different strategies they have offensively to move the blocker and the defender. Well, the second set underway here. Alex Brouwer siding out. Really having to sell a lot of angle before chipping a lot of line there. And it's something we don't see so much of, especially in the semi-final, was Brouwer hammering through the ball and being aggressive. He's having to resort to shooting the ball a lot more because he's been blocked out for large proportions. Great start. This is exactly what Brouwer and Meeuwsen needed. And the crowd have been quietened again. This is a fascinating start to set #2. It's the response that Netherlands really would have wanted. Taking the game to them. Schweiner now from the left side. Goes back to the line. They do a fine job at times of moving the blocker from outside in and working around him. Adding more work for the blocker. Just the way has been seen. Transition. And they're back to business. Perusic this time. Again, showing the line, brushing the angle. Very difficult to defend plays like that. Brouwer high off the block. This game has given us a bit of everything, although immensely one-sided in the opener due to that man's blocking, David Schweiner. Another one for Schweiner. Czech team were talking about the Olympics being a dream 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's a reality, and it's their performances in Ostrava that dared them to dream, and for their dreams to start becoming a reality. It's not only becoming a reality now, they're looking like a team who could potentially medal. They're well within the top 15 in the world, and that is cheeky from Schweiner. They know that the play is shifting to the right side of court, and so will be the Netherlands defense. The execution just left lacking slightly. Well, Andrej Perusic served 57 years after Boris Perusic won Olympic silver with the team of Czechoslovakia. Puts one to the floor that would make his granddad very, very proud. The serve from Schweiner though. The Brouwer Meeuwsen. Well, that second place in Chetumal seems like a long, long time ago. It's another missed serve, something we saw a lot of. Meeuwsen's really going for the serve, and well, once upon a time in beach volleyball, the blocker would just try and put the ball in and give themselves time to get in and get set. But nowadays, with the offensive strategies to move the blocker around, the blockers really have to go for their serves to try and get the advantage against the side-out team. Brouwer again, serves short, trying to initiate the two-ball, and that's smart because Brouwer's been pinned in against the blocker at times, so at least by showing the two-ball is available by passing on a wider angle, it makes Schweiner think a little bit more, and this is a much better performance from Brouwer and Meeuwsen. They are figuring stuff out, and that will make them and their coaching staff very, very happy. Coaching staff Victor Anfelov, sorry. And Reindeer Numedor, yes, the Reindeer Numedor, legend of the game. Serve to the inside, and all of a sudden, the pressure is maybe starting to show. Schweiner doesn't have that away from the body swing from the inside. Timeout. It's completely worked for this pairing in the opening set. He called an early timeout, and it broke the rhythm of Brouwer Meeuwsen because they did have one good run. Both big blockers within the game. We're in the Rio Olympics. The smallest blocker was Robin Seidel at 190. Now it looks as if it could be Hiro Gavir at 193 that takes that spot. The game getting bigger and bigger. The angles that these players can hit alongside the speeds. And talking of angles, that's Perusic at his most potent, that's for sure. Has to work hard to get that back on the cut shot, and he holds as much line with his upper body to open up that space and to hold Brouwer, who's reading his body line into the angle for as much as possible. 8-6, side out needed. Brouwer chips over the top of the block. Haven't seen Brouwer chip this much for a while. Might not chip this one though. No, goes away from the body. Perusic gets Uzenars. Chance for Perusic from the left side. No. Brouwer there again. Meeuwsen on 2. Perusic there again. Can you? No. Brouwer sweeping up everything, but the ball's gone wide. What a rally. My. Slightly out of sync there. Brouwer puts the Czech team under pressure. But that defensive line was very good, just a little bit late. Just going late over the shoulder as Meeuwsen jumped into the angle. That's where the body was facing. Meeuwsen pats back to the line. This is good from the Netherlands. That's what they're playing for. And it just seems as if the Netherlands are enjoying themselves a little bit more than the opening. Ace from Meeuwsen. He's missed a couple today, but that one's almost unreceivable. The 2 receivers will be trying to start on the shoulders of Meeuwsen, but they're ripped straight down the middle. Schweiner. Knuckle on the angle. Turn from Meeuwsen. Seen. That's the second time that they've done that. Oh, it's another block from Schweiner. Game changer. 6 blocks in the opener. Starting to put his foot down on the gas again. He's reading everything. He's watching through the net, so he sees the body language of the player before they make contact with the ball, and that allows him to make good decisions. Isn't that what life's about? No respect there for Meeuwsen. Really, the progress that the Czech team are making, they're going to be turning heads all around the world, and that's one more for Meeuwsen. And that one's just what happens when you try and turn the ball on big angles. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. That certainly goes the way of David Schweiner. Back set, whipped back angle. Huge swing. It really is. If he's not blocking, he's siding out. Some of the plays that the Czech pairing have in their locker, to be able to move the ball on the back set from a central zone and to work the ball back that sharp and that powerful is credit to them. Perusic Schweiner looking to win their first Ostrava Open. Once as a blocker, once as a defender, once playing split. Second Olympics for Hermanova. First Olympics coming the way of this pairing. Another dig. Meeuwsen stays up. He breaks really late for the shot. Seems to be a good break. Knuckle over. Oh, this rally is all over the place. And because it's all over the place, it allows Robbie Meeuwsen to get in and make a block. Turn back with the upper body, seen from Perusic. What a game this one's turning into. Miss serve from Schweiner. Starting to look a little bit more tired, which is obvious as the game progresses. You're not going to get any less tired and gain energy, but He's having to do quite a lot of work. This time long from Meeuwsen. With a couple of aces we've seen earlier on, has also been a key indicator to the performance and the success of his team. Brouwer. Off the hands. Chases on Brouwer again, but too accurate. Great patience from Perusic. The ball's going in very, very quickly. He has to hold off the net. Schweiner can just lay the ball in front of his partner. And some people just can't watch. It's all too much. Sharp. It's one of the sharpest swings of the day from Alex Brouwer. Turns it slightly away, and that's why he's really set the standard for defenders on the tour. Tough not to crack Meeuwsen because of the physicality, where this team from the Czech Republic move the ball through channels nicely, make good decisions based on their offensive strategy. Passed on an angle from the middle, opens up the line. Brouwer through the block. In the first set, these are the sorts of plays that Schweiner was eating for breakfast. As the game goes on, the Netherlands are really establishing themselves back into the game. Now it's proving to be a tough one to call. The game's really heating up. Brouwer, straight down the middle. Perusic from the centre. Pats away. It's David Schweiner. Shifts the play through the middle. And off the hand of Meeuwsen. Brouwer again. He's been asked a lot of questions throughout this game, and that question he didn't have an answer for. Schweiner. When the Czech boys need a block, he delivers. Kicking out. Good hands. Really disciplined outside hand to shift the ball back in. Routine side out play. Second time of asking, but the Czech Republic did their damage. They made one break. From the centre. Fantastic cover from Schweiner. Pat to the line is seen. And on the turn, Meeuwsen this time. Wow. This second set has really come alive. The crowd giving full support. Oh, back on one. Alex Brouwer. Doesn't matter how you score them. Deflection off the block of Meeuwsen. High arm to the baseline. Advantage the Netherlands to take this to a third and final. Moving the play back through the middle. Smooth play from Schweiner. This time showing a lot of crossing going back to the line. Last time in that situation, he went off the outside hand of Meeuwsen. Just shows that they're mixing things up all the time. Phenomenal. The transition just a little bit wide of the mark, but the defense was shadowing the approach line of the attacker. Hustling Brouwer there. In transition went high risk to the sideline, but not this time. The serve from Meeuwsen. Is risk versus reward. Two will do it for the Netherlands. They need this side out desperately. And the seam is open again for Brouwer. Short serve again, but the tempo of the pass buys Brouwer time to open up his angles. That was something we didn't see as much of in the opening set. Brouwer serving to take us to a tiebreaker. Passing on more angles. Schweiner from the middle again. Ooh, lines open. So difficult to defend against. The ball's moving quite fast. It's not the highest pass. Although they're both in good positions, the Dutch, they're beaten to the line. Which way will this one go? Second set point. This one for the Netherlands. It's one saved. A big break at an interesting time. The defense from Perusic opens up all of his options offensively. Calm, good tempo. It allows David Schweiner to get his hands on the ball. When you're hand setting, it's easier for the spiker to read where the ball's going to go and make a decision. Well, look at that. Stats tell you everything that you need to know. Big moments. Brouwer siding out for the set, chips over the top. It's cool, calm and collective. We go to a third and final tiebreaker in this men's gold medal match. After losing the opener, the Netherlands have battled back to take the second, 21-19, and you can hear it from the crowd. The Netherlands have just put an absolute pin in the home crowd here. Brouwer was stopped early on when he was hitting and hitting and hitting. Started to chip around the block a little bit more, and he's having more success. Schweiner's out of the game. Remember, 6 blocks in the opening set. And only 2 from Schweiner in set number 2. That's a big change. More errors from the Czech home team. They will have this entire crowd on their side as we go to 3, though. Good game. This one is the third and final tiebreak. Set gets underway here in Ostrava. It's an ace, hubby-wife serve down the middle. This float serve is really coming to the party when the Netherlands need it the most. Brouwer beaten by Schweiner on the left side. Has this wrist away swing, which is a little bit unorthodox, Schweiner. Certainly works from the height that he's at, though. Play to the pin, and Schweiner's there. They're trying to play faster and wider. It's really a big test for the line of the block on Schweiner, but he reaches in, he sees everything. It's a great line from the blocker. Brouwer. Answers his calling, second time of asking. Absolutely incredible game, this. They're going middle to middle yet again. They're seeing that as a route to success. Netherlands certainly is working to put the Czech pairing under pressure. But they save their side out just. Who knows which way this one's going to go. Off the outside hand again of Meeuwsen. Smart play, just testing the outside hand all the time. Very difficult to move in the block and seal the outside hand. Perusic, Schweiner have never beaten Brouwer Meeuwsen. Remember that. It's their third game that they've played against each other. From the left side, Schweiner again. He's getting asked a lot of questions, David Schweiner, and he's answering them. One thing for sure now for Perusic Schweiner, they have the experience of these big games. They're not newbies to these challenges anymore. Meeuwsen over the top of the block. They've beaten the biggest names on the tour now. They've been in, well, this is their fifth final for Perusic and Schweiner. Meeuwsen is high risk for high reward serve. From the line back angle. Big swing from Andrej Perusic. He hasn't had as much to do in this tiebreaker. It's not about how many digs you make, it's how many you can put on the floor on the other side. Change of ends every 5 points in this race to 15. Wide from Brouwer, and from absolutely nowhere. Perusic Schweiner have rocked and rolled into a 3-point lead. You have to be so impressed with their overall progression, how they've turned from a qualifier team all the way through to a team to really be reckoned with on this tour. Nobody will want to play them when it comes to crunch time in Tokyo, for certain. Schweiner looking slightly more exhausted than Perusic, just because he's getting a lot more of the ball. Will it be third time lucky in Ostrava for Perusic Schweiner? Brouwer passing fast. He's going to run out of some options here. Makes it a fairly easy dig for Perusic. Another transition. It's another dig that turns into a point. Crowd absolutely love it. Two big plays in quick succession from Perusic, complementing the moves in the block from Schweiner. Schweiner with the serve. Brouwer needs a side out here. Gets one through the seam. Nervous times for players and spectators alike. I think Perusic and Schweiner would tie the Beach Volley Vikings for 2 wins this season at 4-star events. Vikings winning 2 in Cancun. Pat angle, and the intensity is having to come from the Netherlands because the crowd are giving them nothing to feed off. Good spot from Brouwer, chopping angle. Change of serving tactics for the Dutch, but it's Perusic who almost goes to the seam of the court. This is maybe the most important side out of this match. Goes the way of the Czech Republic, of course it does. The reason why it's one of the most important side outs of this game is because all of a sudden this lead has maybe gone one too far. 4-point game here. Will it be win number 2 for Perusic Schweiner? Brouwer gets his side out eventually. Wow, this is twist and turned all over the place. Passionate fans when you have the flag on your head. From the middle. Brouwer is there. Sitting in the pocket. Alex Brouwer. Chance to transition. They need a break. Interesting. It's exactly what they needed at this time. And that 4-point game has quickly become 2 again. It's not quite too little too late if they can make a move now, the Dutch. We've done this time and time again. The experience, 99 competitions together now, Meeuwsen. Schweiner from the middle. And there's another error from David Schweiner. Maybe it's nerves. Running through the center. It's the one away from the body that gets him into strife once more. Interesting. 4-point lead is back to just 1. It means there's a timeout from the home team. The drama, the excitement. Well, the Beach Volleyball World Tour was quiet for a long time during this pandemic, but we have not been short of action and drama since its return. That's for sure. The Olympic race maybe over this weekend when it comes to the Olympic qualification rankings before the Continental Cup takes place. But now we're looking at form, and we're looking at who can be effective in Tokyo. Meeuwsen serving post timeout, gets this one in. That's now the pressure's on Schweiner. Meeuwsen is there. He hasn't made many blocks whatsoever throughout this game, but at crunch time to bring it back to 10-10, he finds one. The nerves creeping in. The pass is way off the net. No angles. Great adjustments from Meeuwsen. Wow, 4-point run. It's a key time. Meeuwsen now just popping the serve in, not going high risk anymore. It's another touch in the block. Brouwer with a chance to go to the line, and it's a 5-point swing for the Netherlands. Can you believe it? 10-6 down. And they've applied pressure in every circumstance. Netherlands. Smart from Meeuwsen. He's just taken the pace off of the ball with his serve because he knows that the situation is creating enough pressure for David Schweiner and Ondrej Perusic. Doesn't need to create that pressure from the baseline. Exactly the same again. It is a good serve, and Schweiner's put to the floor. And he goes to the angle. Well, eventually, Czech Republic side out. Hold on tight. Schweiner serving down the line. And Meeuwsen is taking the ball by the horns with the setting, and as is Alex Brouwer, who puts that one away. Good passing, stays into the sand, stays in good tempo. Schweiner throwing dives in to the angle, leaving the line open for Brouwer. Meeuwsen has been so quiet in the blocking department today, and he's got 2 stuff blocks on Schweiner at clutch time. A great finish. He's come through the middle 3 times in a row and tried to hit angle. Very good from Brouwer. Meeuwsen, 2-point lead from 5 down. This time it's block out. Is there another twist in this tale? Because the Czech pairing of Perusic and Schweiner have worked so hard throughout the second last year. They could see the finish line at 10-6 up, but it's an 8. So 6-3 swing. Schweiner gets one back. And maybe, just maybe, there's another twist in this one. Great closure in the block from Schweiner. 6 blocks in the opening set, making another one when it matters the most. Well, Brouwer didn't know whether to leave that one or to play it. He's played it, rightfully so, and then he side out. Brouwer is staying so calm. Easy for players to maybe lose some of their head in that situation, but not the experience of Brouwer. He's having a great time. Well, Meeuwsen serving for the Netherlands. We're 10-6 down in this, the final set. Now they have the first match point. And it's gone wide. The gold medal goes to the Netherlands for Robert Meeuwsen and Alex Brouwer. It's their first gold medal on the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour since 2018 in Huntington Beach. They're back on form after, well, a tough couple of months on tour. 3 9th places, 3 17ths, but now they top the podium. Meeuwsen serving and blocking at the end. Alex Brouwer sliding out. There is Reindeer Numador, coach Victor Ampelofs as well on your picture, just cruising past. The Dutch team ecstatic with their performance. They're back on top of the podium. They absolutely deserve it. Marek Pakosta, the president of the Czech National Volleyball Federation, present them with their trophy. What a comeback. 21-13, 21-19, 15-13 in the last. The gold medal goes to Brouwer Meeuwsen, the 2013 world champions, the Olympic bronze medalists. What a comeback. I think we may say that a few times. That's how it finished. Perusic was putting the ball in the slot there for Schweiner, but Schweiner coming in on a straight approach, trying to go away from the body, missing out on the sideline. Well, a day to remember here in Ostrava as we get ready to hear from our winners. Disappointment for the home team of Perusic and Schweiner. They have been phenomenal throughout this competition, but it's a second silver for them in a row here. What a comeback again from 10-6 down. Let's go down and hear from the Dutch.
Players, but against the whole stadium, how did it feel like?
Again, first of all, thank you guys for being here. Even though you're all against us, which is a great thing. I don't know. I don't have many words right now. I'm just like, how did we win this? Like, we fought so hard for this tournament, and like we said, all season was good. We were really struggling, but we kept pushing, and I'm so happy we won this.
Well, after the first set, you had to fight even harder because that was not your game.
Yeah, the Czech guys were playing really well, making almost every side out, and we had to force so much in our service pressure, and we were able to pull that off, and I'm really happy with the way we kept fighting, kept going for it, and make it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
They are so happy, and rightfully so. Legends of the game, Alex Brouwer and Robert Meeuwsen, go back to the top of the World Tour podium. First time since 2018. There are the stats. Those 2 blocks from Meeuwsen at the end, key. 10 blocks from Schweiner. Can you believe they didn't win it with 10 blocks and 12 digs? More errors from the Dutch, more attacks from them, but the aces were key in the end. Doesn't matter how